Okay, so we're going to do a short video here where we're going to talk about setting up GitHub. And basically, you should already have gone to GitHub and set up an account. And if you haven't done that, go and do that. It's a free account, just everything's free. Later on, you can sign up for all the special teacher educator stuff. But all you have to do now is just sign up for that free account. I've got the bash shell here, not the bash shell, but the git bash shell here. And I also have the regular command prompt here, CMD, that I've run, that I ran in previous videos. I'm going to show this to you how we're going to set up GitHub under Windows, but it's the exact same thing under Linux, and I'm pretty sure it's the same under Mac, and if it's not, we'll make other videos for those. So I'm going to open up my, my browser, and I'm going to go to GitHub. And I'm already logged in to one of my accounts, and I guess we can sign out so you can see. So basically, you'll just you'll just basically sign up to make a new account, and I'm not going to do this here because I just don't want yet another stray account. So I'm going to sign in, and I'm not actually going to sign in. This is a secondary account that I use when I model things in class, so I can show something from the teacher point of view. Is my Zemansky account, which is also my main Gmail account and my main Hunter account, all tied together. But this is from another Hunter account I have. And so you can just set this up, and yeah, it's got a weak password, but whatever. But you're going to then go to your settings page. And what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to go under where it says SSH and GPG keys. What we're going to do is we need to add an SSH key. SSH is for secure shell, and it's used for securely connecting to different machines and sending data between different machines. And we have to set up these keys, and maybe when we do the topics course, we'll talk a little bit about public key encryption, which is what this is based on. If you guys want to do that. But the basic idea is if you don't set up your SSH keys, every time you do something with GitHub, you're going to have to type in your password. So like change a file, type your password. Revert a file to the previous version, change your password. Check what's going on, you type the password. And you're going to be typing your password over and over and over again. So basically, this is how you get around that. How do you avoid that? Is you set up the SSH keys, and so whenever you do something on GitHub, and this works for other services as well, what it'll do is it'll negotiate between the two and figure out, are you who you say you are, and then you won't have to type in your password. So what we're going to do is we have to set up what is known as a public key. Basically, we have two things, a public key encryption. You have a public key and a private key. The private key only you know, but the public key you can send out into the world and everyone can know it. And then what happens is when somebody with the public key wants to send you something, they encrypt it with the public key, but the public key then doesn't decrypt it. So all those other people with the public keys, they can't decrypt it. They're kind of, they're stuck. They just see this encrypted message. But then it comes to you, you got your private key, and that can be used to decrypt the message, and that's how they manage this communication to make sure you are who you are. They send information back and forth using these keys to encrypt the data. So you have to generate your public and private keys, and at first you don't have anything in your system, so we're going to do SSH-keygen. And we hit enter, and it says generating a public-private key, and you can just hit enter throughout for this. We'll talk later on. So it says users keys.ssh ID RSA, empty path. We're just not going to use a passphrase, and then when we see this, we're done. And if we do a dir here, we'll see we have this new directory.ssh. And if we go into it by cding.ssh, we see there's two files, idrsa and idrsa.pub. And if we look here and we do ls, somewhere there'll be a new directory ssh. I don't know where it is. We may have to do an ls-a. And there we go, .ssh up here. And we could likewise do cd.ssh. Okay, you know, and then we can do an ls, and we see idrsa and idrsa.pub. IDRSA, and RSA is the type of encryption that it's using for this, is your private key, and IDRSA.pub is your public key. So if we type in cat ID underscore RSA.pub, that's what we get. So what I'm going to do here, and I hope this works because I'm using this virtual thing, is I'm going to copy this. Then I come over to GitHub, and I'll come over to here, and I'll type, let's add a new key, and this key would be, we'll call it Windows 10 VirtualBox. You can just give it the name of like your desktop, your laptop, whatever, and then we paste all of this. Add the key, and if you didn't cut and paste it right, it's not going to do it. It won't work. But now we've saved this key, and at this point, we're good to go. And if we would do the same thing, in fact, this is literally the exact same things to type. Under Linux, you open up a terminal, you do the SSH-keygen enter, you hit enter a bunch of times. Exact same thing. You cd into the directory, you cut and paste it, 100% the same. Pretty sure it's the same on the Mac. I don't think you have to install anything special, but that's it. And now we're ready to go when we start using Git and GitHub, which we're going to make another couple of videos on, to learn how to use these basic tools.